Hey, Facebook. Don't know about you guys, I'm really feeling it today. Big squeeze just from kind of all over the place. So, daily reading here, 3 cards to tap in. And hope we can move through all these weird energies together. All right, 1 flew out. There's 2. That one wanted to come out. All right, 3 cards. All right. First of all, we've got Major Arcanum 15. This is the Devil. This is in the recent past slot. Major Arcanum means we really need to pay attention to it. This is the number 5 on the upper octave. So 5 is conflict, change, and expansion. So the devil represents temptation, addiction, whatever you allow to pull yourself down into the lower energies. So we see this Holy Trinity here, the triangle. These 2 pieces of yourself, these 2 dualistic aspects of yourself, their fulfillment, represented by orange, is chained to this podium of a mental block, represented by the color yellow, right? They're just kind of chained down there. They're standing in this foundation of black, which represents the ego. So even though the devil is challenging you and providing conflict in your life, it's all for your growth. And he's crossing his eyes, he's sticking out his tongue. There's something playful about him, right? And on the active side of the card, he's holding onto a green wand, and his wings are yellow, so more intellect. So I think this is like getting trapped in mental energies that you know aren't serving you. Falling for his tricks will send you down into a spiral. He's androgynous. He has both female and male anatomy, as you can see, but his body is spiritualized. His body is light blue. So even the darkest moments that we go through and the mistakes that we make are really in service of growth. The dark feeds the light. So that's the recent past energy. Makes sense to me today. And now we're moving into the present energy, which is Major Arcanum 13. This is the nameless Arcanum 13, commonly referred to as the Death card in common decks. So these are 2 pretty tough cards right here. We got the Devil followed by the nameless Arcanum 13, the Death card. Again, he's not as scary as he looks, right? He may be skeletal, but he's still flesh-colored. He's still in the incarnate form. Spiritual kundalini energy on his spine, light blue on the spine. Active root chakra, active throat chakra. And then it kind of stops there. So we are blocked off from the top 3 chakras, but maybe that's what he's doing right now. And look at that. We have a black ground again. Ego. So ego death is kind of at the forefront in this reading so far. So he's taking, if you notice, he's stepping toward the future with his light blue leg from his flesh leg. So moving from the physical into the spiritual, he's holding onto this yellow scythe with this active spiritual blade with which he cuts away the pieces of himself that no longer serve. I think these pieces, these hands and feet and bones are the pieces of himself that feed the earth from which these plants can grow. It's like the earth takes our shit and uses it as compost. These 2 imps and the devil before are now beheaded, and he's stepping, he's walking on this prince and princess. Maybe this is who you thought you were, being better than other people, being royal, cutting away this facade, this mask. And he cuts it away with the yellow scythe, which is his intellect. So he's growing. Massive transformation is what the nameless Arcanum 13, the Death card, is all about. There's this white bone of purity on the future side of the card with 7 holes in it, just waiting for the breath of God to make music out of this destruction. But this is really just mantling, really something comes along and makes you face yourself. So we have the devil tempting us in the recent past, and then we have Nameless Arcanum 13, which is the number 3 on the upper octave. And 3 is creativity, expression, and growth. Growth being the key one in this card. So these are 2 kind of tough cards. It makes sense with the energy I've been feeling today. So overcome temptation and let the real you show itself, even though that can be kind of devastating to let go of who we thought we were. What the hell are we moving into in the near future slot? Okay, 9 of Swords. Another tough card, especially in the Rider-Waite deck. It's a pretty scary image. The 9 of Swords is you are at the end of your rope. You're kind of trapped in your head. Again, that yellow blade, intellect, and swords represent the air sign. So does the color yellow, logic, intellect, and idea. But 9 is that master number of fulfillment. You're welcome, Danny. 9 is idealism, fulfillment, and inspiration. So this is maybe finally letting go of something that's been trapping you up, a negative thought pattern. You do have the power to cut that away, cut that out of your life. But you have to grab a hold of the handle with your intuition, and fulfillment is gilding that handle, which is knowledge being put into action. So I feel like maybe we even know what we need to do, and we're feeling resistance to just doing it. And it's time. It's time to kind of move forward. I've been knowing I need to meditate more, and I've just been resisting it and ending up not doing it. So I'm going to do that today. I've also got a project to catch up on, and I just need to put my nose to the grindstone. So overcoming these difficult energies will help us feel better. And remember, thinking about doing something, 9 of Swords, thinking about doing something is always worse than actually doing it. You know, once you get going, you're fine. It's like exercise. If I do 7 minutes, I want to go all the way to the end. But getting started can be difficult sometimes. So let's keep an eye out for the devil, for these temptations, addictions, just knowingly falling off the higher path, choosing to do it, and major ego death and massive transformation. Let's identify the pieces of ourselves that aren't serving ourselves or others or the collective or divine. And let's use our intellect to cut away what's keeping us trapped in our heads, because we can overcome this. Well, that makes sense with what I'm feeling. So once again, this helped me. I hope it helps somebody else out there. Much love to you all. I did post a video on the Major Arcanum and the layout of it yesterday on my YouTube channel, Tarot by Keith. I'm doing a teaching series. So if you want to get deeper into the Ancient Marseille Tarot, you can share my perspective on it. All right, thanks. I love you all. Bye-bye.